Hakadosh Boker Tov, Masechet Ketubot Daf Lamed Bet Amud Aleph 32a1. We were just mentioning a contradiction. The Mishnah said that if somebody had relations with his sister, with his aunt, with his sister-in-law, or all these other people were with an Nidah, so he said that they have a knas of the Chanishim Kesef. So we asked the contradiction. It says, Elu en Elokim, these are people that they get lashes. This is the Mishnah in Masechet Makot. And the Mishnah Makot says that who gets lashes? Somebody that has relations with a sister, with his aunt, with the aunt from the mother, with his sister-in-law, right? With the brother's wife, right? With the Nidah. So all these people, they get lashes. Now, Kaimalan, we already paskin, right? The eno lokeu mishalem, that a person does not pay, right? He does not get lashes and pays. He doesn't happen.
Let's go on it.
We come and we say, Kaimalan, we paskin that kolam aloke, right? That's what you're saying. Haloke eno mishalem. What does that mean? A person that comes, right, and gets lashes does not pay. So if he's getting lashes, why in the world would he pay a knas? So Amarula Ula says like a question. Kan ba'achoto na'ara, kan ba'achoto bogeret. When we're talking about achoto na'ara, the na'ara is chayav knas, and therefore he does not get what makot, right? Why? Because he's going to pay. He's not going to get makot. But if it's achoto bogeret, that by a bogeret there's no knas. Remember, a bogeret is after 12 and a half. There's no knas. So therefore, that's why he gets lashes. So says the Gemara, achoto bogeret nami aika boshet ubgam. 1 second, there's boshet ubgam. Not only does the person have to come and pay the knas, there's boshet, there's embarrassment, right? There's gam, there's a defect. Now she's defected. So therefore, a woman that gets violated, it's not only just Stami pays a knas, he has to pay for her embarrassment. He has to pay for the pagam, right? It's a pagam in the entire family that she was violated. So answers the Gemara, beshota. She was a shota. So since the sister's a shota, she's not 100% there. There's no bullshit, right? That means there's only bullshit if a person gets embarrassed. The person that's a shota, there's no embarrassment. So says the Gemara, okay, fine. There's tzad. When a person gets violated, they suffer. So that suffering answers the Gemara, b'mfuteh. He seduced her. So if he seduced her, there was no suffering. So says the Gemara, now that you're talking about mefuteh, then even if you could say tzachotto nara, right? Why? The yetoma umfuteh. We're talking about the yetoma, and the yetoma, the knas and boshet and the gam belongs to her. And since she was a mefuteh, she's mochelet on the knas, yeah, and the boshet and the gam, right? Why? Because she was seduced, she forgives her. So therefore, that's why he comes and he says, right, that since he's not paying, that's why he gets lashes. Alma kasavarula. So you see from here the rula holds. Anytime that you have money and lashes, mamona meshalem milkalolake. You're going to pay money and you're not going to get the lashes. Meaning the betin have a card, right? And there it's written types of punishments, right? That means the judge come and they have types of punishments. Here, the second that there's a punishment, which is basically also lashes and also money, according to Ula, they pay and they go, don't get lashes. How do we know that? So he comes and he says, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe they get lashes and they don't pay. So it says, we learn it from chovel b'chavero. What does that mean? If somebody punches out their friend, which is chovel b'chavero, te'ika mamon malkut, there's also mamon malkut. Mamona meshalem milkalolaki. He pays, but he doesn't get lashes. Yeah? It says because they learn, so from here we learn that he has to pay the money, right? And also since it says from the bedin, you're not allowed to add on to the lashes of a human being. So from there we learn that if somebody gives lashes to their friend, they get lashes as well. So therefore they get both. There's lashes and money. But here you see the chovel b'chavro, he has to pay and he doesn't get lashes. So too, whenever there's going to be money and lashes, he's going to pay money, but he doesn't get the lashes. So says the Gemara, what are you talking about? When you punch somebody out, what do you chayav? 5 things, right? You're chayav. Nezek, tsar, ripui, shevet, boshet. Damaging, right? Suffering, healing, meaning doctor's bills, shevet, unemployment, and boshet, and embarrassment. There's 5 things that a person pays, right? When he knocks out his friend, when he hits his friend. So therefore, since they were machamid, right? Therefore, there we said, we prefer that he pays the big bucks. than coming and getting the lashes, right? But in somewhere else, right, maybe not. But if you're going to tell me now that the mamon is going to be less than the lashes, right? It's going to be mutar, right? In the bedin, which means, when do we say that you have to pay money and you don't get lashes? Only if it's going to be more expensive. So then I prefer giving the more expensive punishment, the worst punishment. Here, you know how much he has to pay? You know what it is? Unemployment, doctor's bills, suffering, damages. There's a lot of things here. So therefore, there I say he has to pay and he doesn't get lashes. But in the other way around, let's say the lashes was worth much more than the payment. The payment would have been peanuts. So give him the lashes, not the payment. Ela gamar, but rather he learns it from edim zomim. My edim zomim, just like edim zomim di kamamon malkut, by edim zomim, false witnesses, there's also money and there's also malkut. Mamon meshalem min kaloraki, he pays and he doesn't get lashes. So too, any time there's going to be mamon malkut. Mamon meshalem min kaloraki. What does that mean? Imagine right now, two witnesses go to Badin and they say that Baba Haki, right, lent me $100,000. Yeah, fine. Okay. All of a sudden, what happens? They were found to be false. Now, what happens? Those witnesses, what do they want to do? They wanted to obligate me to pay Baba Haki $100,000. So they are now chayavim kesef. They're obligated money. But not only that, since they testify falsely, they're also obligated lashes. So what happens by Edim Zomim? They pay and they don't get the lashes. So if they have to pay me the $100,000, right? Why? Because they wanted me to lose $100,000. So they pay me the $100,000, but they don't get lashes. Why? Because mamona meshalem min kalolaki. They pay and they don't have to get lashes. So says the Gemara, in every case, it's the same thing. Whenever you have money and lashes, they pay and you don't get the lashes. Ask the Gemara, by Edim Zomim, right, that they're going to be punished, whether it's with the death penalty, whether it's with lashes or with money, right? Even though they didn't give them a warning, right, they're still punished. Meaning, Edim Zomim have a stringency. What's the stringency? There's no warning for them, and they still get the punishment. So you can't compare that to any other case where usually you do need a warning. So, and also the other way around. Here, they didn't actually do an action. It was only speech. So therefore, don't compare Edim Zomim to every other case in the world. You can't compare. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a general rule. Whenever you have money and lashes, you always pay and you don't get lashes. We were trying to learn from where, and every time when we're learning from where, we're trying to rebuttal it, right, to defer it by saying that there's a special reason in that case, and therefore you cannot compare that case to any other single case. So says the Gemara, you're right. Ela gamar mitarvayu. You have to learn from both of them, from Edim Zomim, right, and from Chovel Bechavro, which means this is called the Tzad Shava, common denominator, which means you're right. If I go one way, it's going to be more stricter in this way. If I go the other way, it's going to be more stricter in the other way. But when I put them both together, there's a common denominator, and that's why I could put them both together and learn it. Ma Tzad Shava Shabahen. What's a Tzad Shava Shabahen? Tiika Mamun Malkut, that there's going to be Mamon Malkut, which means that you have money and lashes, and Mamon Mishalim Nikolaki. You always get money, you always pay the money, you don't get the lashes. So therefore, whenever you're going to have the case of money and lashes, you always pay and you don't get the lashes. Everyone understood why Be'emet there's going to be a stringency in each one that we don't apply it to everything else? Says the Gemara, 1 second. Even if you put both cases together, Edim Zomemim with Chovel Bechavero, each one has a stringency. So the Shave, which means the common denominator, still has a stringency. But if you're going to go that the money was lenient, they have a tzadakal. So you still can't learn from a common tzad Shave, which is called a binyan av. Binyan av is like a building block, right, for other cases. So I'm putting both cases up here together and now making a building block for everything else. You still can't do that. Says Lamed Bet Amud Bet, Ela Ula Tachat Tachat Gamar. But rather, Ula learns the Gzera Shavat. Tachat, Tachat. Ketiva, it's written by Ones, it's written that Samida violates Betula, Veloti Elisha Tachat Sherina. A person is obligated to get married to her because he afflicted her. Meaning the fact that he came and he afflicted this girl and he violated her, he has to stay married to her for the rest of the life. And it's written, Ain Tachat Ain, Tachat Tachat. Right? Ain Tachat Ain, one eye for another eye. Mahatam, just like by the eye, it's mamona meshalem. A person only pays; he doesn't get lashes. So the same thing. Whenever a person has money and lashes, he's going to mamona meshalem. He's only going to pay; he's not going to get lashes. Okay, so that's what the Gemara is learning. Tachat tachat gzira shava. that you always pay money and you do not get the lashes. Okay? Fine. Next, says the Gemara. Rabbi Yochanan comes and he says, Afilu teima achoto ne'ara. Even if you want, you could say that we're talking about the sister, which is a ne'ara, and there's still not a stira. Kani turubo, kan shloi turubo. When do we say that he gets lashes? Only if he has a hatra'ah. That means they came and they warned him. If you go and you live with your sister, so what's going to happen? You're going to get lashes. So in such a case, he gets lashes and he doesn't have to pay. However, though, if they didn't give him the warning, so then he doesn't get lashes. If he doesn't get lashes, so now he has to pay the penalty. It makes sense. Alma kasav Rabbi Yochanan. So you see from here, Rabbi Yochanan holds. Anytime that you have money and lashes, and they give you a warning, they give you the lashes and you don't have to pay money. How do you know that? How does Rabbi Yochanan know that whenever you have lashes and money, and they warned you, because remember, for the lashes, they need to warn. They warned you. So you get the lashes and you don't get the money. How do you know that? So it says the Gemara, it says in the Pasuk, Kedei Rishato. What does it mean, Kedei Rishato? It says, Vipilo Vikau Kedei Rishato. The word Rishato is a Lashon Yachid. You could only punish a person on one rishut and not on two. And that's why you don't get lashes and pay on one action, because on the same action, you could not get two penalties. Okay? And then it's written on that, you get lashes. So for since it's written right beside it, so you see from here that you give him the lashes and he doesn't pay. Okay? He said, one second, what about chovel b'chavero? Chovel b'chavero, you got lashes and you've got money, and there you said that what? That you're going to pay, you're not going to get lashes. So what's going on according to Rabbi Yochanan? Rabbi Yochanan says it should be the opposite. If you're going to tell me, maybe they didn't warn him. That's why he has to pay, because there was no warning. If there's no warning, that's why he pays. He doesn't get the lashes. But if they didn't give him the warning, so then what? He will get lashes and not pay. What happens if a person comes and he punches someone, but there's not a shaveh pruta? You understand what happened? Right? I just punched him. It was choveh b'chavero. But it's not shaveh pruta. What do you? Huh? Whatever. You saying that was not shaveh pruta, which means that it was less. Yeah, it was. Yeah, which means that it was ki'ilu. It wasn't even worth a penny. You know what that means? It wasn't worth a penny. So he says, look, he gets lashes, right? Hechi dami, what's the case? If right now there was no hatra, if there was no warning, why is he going to get lashes? Elapshita, but rather the atrube, right? There was hatra, and therefore, since there was hatra, there was a warning. Tama deleba sheve pruta. It's only because it was not a sheve pruta. Haiba sheve pruta, but if it was a sheve pruta, mamona meshalem min kalolake. He pays and he does not get lashes. Yeah. So he says, you see from here that even according to Rabbi Yochanan, even if we have the hatra'ah for lashes, he would pay money. He doesn't get the lashes. So what's going on then? Yeah. So says the Gemara, Kedama Rabbi Ila, you're right. Like Rabbi Ila says, Beferush, Ribta Torah edim zomim netashlumin. Do you know Mefurash, the Torah added in edim zomim to tashlumim, which means edim zomim, they have to pay the money. Achanami, so to here, Beferush Ribta Torah choveh b'chavero tashlumim, which means like this. There's a special deen also by edim zomim and also by chovel b'chavero, that the edim zomim and the chovel b'chavero, he has to pay and he doesn't get lashes. Meaning, even though you have two different judgments on the table, right? You have two different cards. You could pull out whichever card you want. Either you give him lashes or you give him to pay. By edim zomim and chovel b'chavero, there was an extra limud that they pay and they don't get the lashes, no matter what. They always pay, they don't get the lashes. The Hechal, where was it said? On this case in Makot, the Mishnah Makot there says, imagine right now, two people come, they would testify. That, like what we said before, that this guy's chayav 100 zuz to his friend. They were found to be zomim. So lokinum shalmin, they're going to get both. They're going to get lashes and they're going to have to pay. Two punishments, lashes and to pay. Shelo Hashem mevi'in lidei makot, mevi'in lidei tashlum, because it's not the same pasuk. Meaning, since there's two different pasukim, one pasuk was, you're not allowed to testify falsely, right? And the tashlumim is coming, you have to do whatever he wanted to plan to do with his friend. So since it's two different pasukim, you get two different judgments. These words are me. Chachamim say, anybody that pays does not get lashes. Why? That's what we just said before. So therefore they come and they say, why don't we say the opposite? Why don't we say anybody that gets lashes doesn't pay? Why do we say anybody that pays doesn't get lashes? Meaning over there we said in the Mishnah Mefurash that paying supersedes the lashes. Why? Maybe the opposite. Amar Rabbi says Rabbi, he says, even though you're right, there's two different punishments. The Torah added in Mefurash, which we're going to see where. The Torah added in Mefurash explicitly, Edim Zomim for pain and not for lashes. Hechal Ribta Torah, where is it? He says, Mifti Ktiv, but it's written, right? And then it says, Nefesh v'nefesh hayim yad biyad. Why do we need yad biyad? He says, Davar anotem miyad biyad. Something which is given from one hand to another hand. Money, what is that? Money. What do you give from one hand to another hand? Money. So therefore, when we're talking about it here, it's one money to another person. You're giving something which is given from one hand to another hand, which means the juxtaposition, the proximity, the fact that it's written close by. Right? Right? And it says yad biyad. So for the yad biyad there is talking about that you're giving something which is handed over from hand to hand. What is that? Money. So we're not talking about lashes. We're talking about money. What about chover b'chavero? It's written also by chover b'chavero. Well, just like you did, they're going to do to you. Keni naten bo, so too. Why? So why do I need keni naten bo? You have to give it. Lamali. Davar sheish bo netina. It's something that has netina. What do you give? Money. Mamon, money. So therefore, it's going to be money. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan ma'itama lo makula. So why does Rabbi Yochanan not say like ula? That it's gzera shabbat, tachat, the meshalem enoke. Right? Rabbi Yochanan came, right? Remember, we said there was a gzera shabbat. What was the gzera shabbat? Ula said tachat. It says tachat asherina, tach ayin tachat ayin. There, just like it's money and not malkut, so it's money, no malkut. Why did Rabbi Yochanan come in and say, no, it all has to do with the other reason because of what we just said of Rabbi Ilah, that's mefurash. Why? Right? So he comes and he says, Im ken, if so, bitalta ervat achotecha lo tegale. You annulled ervat achotecha lo tegale. Why? Because if the Torah comes and it tells you the isur of the sister, and it says it as a lav, as a negative commandment, it's in order to give lashes. And therefore the gzera shava is not extra, because you could use it for other things. So if so, I'm not going to say that the lav was that you don't. No. When it says ervat achotecha lo tegale, it means that a person gets lashes when they go with a sister. It's not only just paying money, it's lashes. Yeah, right? Okay. So exactly, it's more. It's more. So because of that, that's what he said. And then obviously, Hashem will continue with the next daf.